Scientists announced a new species of fossil shark has been discovered in Alabama. This is the shark species, which is named after the late Dr. Bruce Bazzucco.
As wild weather patterns sweep the deep south and the world's eyes focus on the heartland of America, a story is unfolding beneath the red clay and winding rivers of Alabama that few could have imagined. News of a remarkable discovery, a forgotten fossil bed in Walker County, has erupted across scientific circles, drawing archaeologists, geologists, and biologists from around the world. But that's just the beginning. This year, as researchers peel back the layers of Alabama's landscape, they're not only rewriting the local map, they're deepening human understanding of life itself, from the labyrinthine tunnels beneath ancient coal mines to the hidden lakes that cloak geology's secrets, to the colossal tooth of a predator that once ruled ancient seas. Alabama has become ground zero for a cascade of discoveries stretching back hundreds of millions of years. In this special feature, we explore 18 of the most astonishing breakthroughs scientists have brought to light, each upending assumptions and offering tantalizing clues about the mysteries beneath our feet. Archaeology, geology, oceanic research, fossil records, animal and plant evolution. Every branch of science is meeting Alabama with renewed questions and curiosity. What has Alabama's ancient landscape been hiding all this time? How do forgotten megafauna and vanished cultures connect to shifting fault lines and clues to life's earliest dawn? Tonight, we invite you on a journey beneath the surface, through mud, stone, river, and root, toward revelations so enigmatic, even seasoned experts are grappling for explanations. Are you ready to reconsider everything you thought you knew about one of America's quietest states? Let's begin. The Walker County Enigma, Trackways in Time. The story opens in Walker County, deep beneath the rolling hills and patchwork farms of northern Alabama. It was here, inside the network of the Union Chapel coal mine, that a high school teacher named Allen made a discovery now recognized as one of the most transformative paleontological finds of recent times. What began as a routine exploration became a moment of history. Allen's lamp landed on a peculiar slab, marked by faint impressions, as if ancient creatures had dragged themselves across a primeval landscape. These marks turned out to be fossilized trackways, a precious record not just of the animals that made them, but a snapshot of a pivotal moment in Earth's history. Within the coal mine's hidden galleries, Allen found a network of prints and trails, evidence of life moving across watery, primordial mudflats. When paleontologists arrived, they realized these trace fossils weren't just footprints. They were signs of the first animals to emerge from water onto land, a process that set the stage for terrestrial ecosystems worldwide. With painstaking work, scientists uncovered delicate footprints and tail drags, preserved in what once was soft mud. Some imprints looked like the tracks of primitive reptiles or amphibians, while others hinted at soft-bodied creatures previously unknown. The implications are profound. This site could represent an early threshold in the transition from aquatic to terrestrial life, a step we are only beginning to understand. Evidence from these trackways hints that the story of how life conquered the land has roots deeper than once suspected, roots that run into Alabama's ancient earth. But questions remain. What else was buried alongside these fossil paths? Did these pioneering creatures crawl alone, or did others follow, shaping Earth's living tapestry? Fossil giants and forgotten predators. Not every fossil found in Alabama is subtle. Along the banks of the state's winding rivers, weather and water have exposed a different kind of relic. Colossal fossil teeth, some serrated and as long as a child's hand. Long ago, artifacts like these inspired myth. Today, however, paleontology has identified these for what they really are: the teeth of the Megalodon, an ancient shark that was once the apex predator of ocean depths. The discovery of Megalodon teeth is a piece of a much larger puzzle. Paleontologists extract from them stories about Alabama's prehistoric ecology, back when most of the region was covered by warm, shallow seas, swarming with gigantic marine life. These teeth bear witness to a time when monstrous sharks dominated the food chain, predators with jaws powerful enough to bite through bone and shell. Why did such predators disappear? What drove them to extinction? Each new discovery along Alabama's riverbanks, from fossilized teeth to the remains of now-vanished fish and reptiles, helps refine our understanding of these prehistoric ecosystems. The fossil record suggests that the region was once a bustling marine corridor, a watery landscape dense with ancient life and, at times, catastrophic turnover. Today's discoveries show these fossil beds remain among the richest in North America, continually yielding the remnants of giants. If the tide of Alabama's prehistory can still wash up teeth as large as these, what more lies beneath the surface, waiting for its time? The Waterways whisper, hidden river monsters. North Alabama's rivers, spiraling around limestone cliffs and between ancient ridges, are more than tranquil scenery. They are time capsules, laden with clues to eras long before the first tree was felled. Recent fieldwork has documented fossil remains of prehistoric sharks and ancient armored fish, all hidden within layers of sediment just beneath the feet of anyone paddling downstream today. Consider the spectacle: shark teeth and bony plates entombed where rivers now meander, silent witnesses to a world alive before mammals or birds. In some riverbeds, paleontologists have found not just solitary relics, but the remains of entire marine communities preserved in situ, scenes frozen at the moment of death, offering rare snapshots of behaviors like feeding and predation. Such discoveries change how we imagine Alabama's rivers, not just as playgrounds for local wildlife, but as ancient highways where predators and prey shaped life's unfolding drama. But the present holds its own mysteries. Recent explorations in underwater caves in the Tennessee River Basin have uncovered species adapted to darkness and isolation: blind catfish, unique crustaceans, translucent eel-like animals. Each find highlights the evolutionary possibilities unlocked when life is allowed to develop in isolation for thousands or millions of years. Could it be that Alabama's rivers, often overlooked, preserve one of the most continuous records of aquatic evolution in North America? Earth beneath, the living geology of Alabama. From the earliest days of geological science, Alabama's complex rock record has fascinated experts. The state sits on shifting boundaries between the ancient Appalachian Mountains, coastal plains, and marine basins, a patchwork that has created an incredibly diverse geology. Recent, comprehensive surveys have mapped unusual faulting along Alabama's southern and central sections, places where ancient seabeds have warped into ridges and valleys. These are not static features. The faults are still slowly adjusting as the Earth's crust responds to ongoing, deep-seated forces. Rock cores reveal microfossils, corals, and sometimes even minerals, rare or unknown, elsewhere in North America. Perhaps most surprising, ground-penetrating radar and seismic mapping have detected vast, unexplored voids deep below the hills, potentially representing new cave systems, uncharted aquifers, or structural anomalies. In some locations, unusual mineral compositions hint at a turbulent past, shaped alternately by volcanic and oceanic forces. As geologists dig deeper into the literal foundations of Alabama, new chapters about our continent's ancient origins begin to emerge. Is the state's geology done evolving, or will the future unveil even more surprises? Lost civilizations, mystery beneath the hills. Where stone and water tell tales of ancient life, so too do the traces of people who came later. Alabama's archaeological record is as rich as anywhere in the Southeast, yet many mysteries remain. Advances in technology have recently uncovered sites that significantly predate well-known mound complexes and settlement earthworks, surprising even seasoned researchers. Using LIDAR and traditional excavation techniques, archaeologists have found geometric soil patterns and remnants of ancient sites, stone circles, earthworks, and the faint outlines of prehistoric structures hidden beneath dense forest and farmland. Artifacts such as beads shaped from marine shell, pottery, and tools crafted from non-local stone suggest links to widespread trade and social networks across ancient North America. While the details remain under study, these finds point to a dynamic, lightly mapped human presence, one that may have risen and faded countless times before written history. The full picture is murky, but the message is clear. Alabama's earliest people were more organized and connected than previously believed. Their stories await beneath the soil, guarded by the silence of centuries. Volcanic shadows, remnants of ancient fire. To outsiders, the idea of volcanoes in Alabama might sound like fantasy, but scientific evidence tells a different story. Igneous rocks discovered in certain outcrops show all the hallmarks of ancient volcanic activity, remnants of eruptions tied to tectonic events that shaped North America hundreds of millions of years ago. Field investigations have found volcanic ash layers interspersed with fossilized plants, testifying to catastrophic eruptions that altered ancient climates and shaped biological history. Chemical analysis of these volcanic deposits allows geologists to pinpoint eruption dates with new accuracy, showing that some parts of present-day Alabama were once landscapes of fire and ash, not forests and pasture. These deep layers remind us, beneath today's fields and forests lie memories of global dramas, bursts of fire and upheaval, hidden but persistent. While no volcano threatens Alabama today, the ground still echoes with the processes that shaped our world. Lakes in peril, earthquakes, and the submerged unknown. Alabama's lakes, formed in ancient river valleys and geological basins, offer more than recreational opportunities. In recent years, monitoring networks have detected unusual seismic activity, micro-tremors that ripple beneath otherwise calm waters. Seismic imaging suggests that strain is distributed across old, deep-seated faults underlying certain lakes. In multiple lakes, scientists have also found elongated cavities beneath the beds, which may be linked to episodes of past or ongoing fault movement. At times, bubbles of natural gas have been observed surfacing, carried by mineral-rich water from unknown depths. Samples drawn from these upwellings hold minerals and microbial signatures that are difficult to account for within known geochemical frameworks. While there is no imminent threat, these discoveries raise important questions. Can lakes act as pressure points or even amplifiers for geological disturbances? And if so, might future tremors bring not only physical change, but new glimpses into hidden regions beneath lakes where time and geology have conspired to lock away Alabama's secrets? River of Bones, mass extinctions and revival. Alabama's rivers are not only lifelines for the present, but graveyards for the past. Fossil collectors have found dense layers along certain riverbanks where hundreds of ancient bones, shells, and teeth are stacked in evidence of past die-offs and the relentless churn of extinction and renewal. Studying these fossil beds through biostratigraphy, the comparison of different fossil layers over time has revealed clear signals of mass extinction, sudden disappearances, followed by slow recolonization, and the arrival of entirely new forms of life. Some layers record the devastation of old lineages, only to be followed by the slow, persistent emergence of new ones. Every meander of the river tells part of evolution's story, from armored fish to amphibians, reptiles to early mammals. The process recorded here in Alabama reflects the broader pattern of life, adapting and rebounding after calamity, each comeback more remarkable than the last. Flora's fugitives, plant mysteries in stingy soils. Above ground, Alabama's plant life is equally intriguing. In less accessible uplands and secluded bogs, botanists have identified relic communities, plants whose closest relatives are fossils or which last thrived during the Ice Age. New species of ferns, mosses, and flowering herbs have been documented in the last decade alone, sometimes found growing in a single isolated valley or on ancient limestone outcrops. Genetic testing has shown some Alabama plant populations possess unsuspected diversity or unique adaptations, evidence that they have survived and adapted through waves of climate change, fire, and competition. These rare species form biological time capsules, preserving ancient lineages that might disappear if local habitats shrink further. Seismic silence, the quake that never was. Alabama is generally known for geological calm, but recent instrumentation reveals ongoing, subtle unrest beneath the region's hills. In 2025, highly sensitive seismic monitors detected micro-quakes too gentle for people to feel, whisper-quiet ripples of energy moving through the crust. Mapping of buried faults using these signals confirms a complex web of ancient fractures, many apparently dormant for millennia. Despite these subtle findings, Alabama has not seen major earthquakes in recent times. Some geologists interpret these regular microtremors as signs of a slow slip mechanism, where small movements dissipate energy before larger quakes can develop. Others warn these tremors could presage more significant future events, though there is little data to predict when or if such events might arrive. For now, Alabama's seismic story is one of stability, punctuated by the ongoing, silent negotiation between crust and mantle below. Ocean's memory, prehistoric seas resurface. On Alabama's southern edge, modern land gives way to the Gulf of Mexico, and with it, new revelations about an oceanic past. Geological cores extracted from beneath today's coastline paint a vivid history, alternating bands of marine clays, oyster shells, fossil shark teeth, and ancient peat. The story these layers tell is of alternating epochs, times when global seas rose and fell, covering much of Alabama with nutrient-rich waters. Paleontological surveys show an uninterrupted succession of life, from trilobites and early fishes to ancient turtles, enormous sharks, and the ancestors of today's creatures. Each fossil find, whether the tooth of a giant shark or the weathered bone of a sea turtle, extends Alabama's record of coastal evolution and reinforces its importance to North American geology. Collision zones, where faults and fossils meet. Some of Alabama's most complex geology is found where ancient faults intersect with fossil-rich strata. In these locations, powerful tectonic forces have crushed and mixed bone with stone, creating deposits that blend biological and geological history in a single tumultuous layer. Here, fossils frequently appear jumbled with rock fragments, evidence of centuries-old earthquakes or floods reworking the ancient landscape. By carefully studying these mixed deposits, geologists and paleontologists are better able to reconstruct the timing of tectonic and biological disruption, linking mass extinctions or faunal turnovers to major geological events. It is in these collision zones that Alabama best reveals itself as a crossroads, where history, life, and Earth itself, the wild unknown, anomalous creatures, and unanswered questions. Alabama isn't only the domain of fossils and geology, its living creatures also incite curiosity. Some reports from naturalists and explorers describe animals that seem to push the boundary of what's known: unusual amphibians, insects with peculiar features, or birds whose calls aren't easily matched to any common species. While most such encounters are eventually explained, some specimens and DNA samples have turned up unexpected results, hints of undiscovered lineages or relic populations with ancient roots. While not every oddity leads to a new species, the possibility of living fossils or populations sheltering in unique habitats inspires continued investigation. Plantology puzzles, the garden of hidden genes. Other plant populations found along rivers or in sheltered coves show chemical adaptations like natural antifreeze proteins or drought resistance that challenge our understanding of how plants respond to environmental stress. Scientists believe these adaptations could have applications in agriculture or medicine, and could also illuminate how ancient climate changes shape today's biological world. Each genetic surprise is a reminder. Alabama's diverse landscapes are not just assemblies of well-known species, but living libraries where evolution continues to test and preserve countless solutions to life's age-old challenges. Lakes of change, the pulse of water and stone. Alabama's lakes, their ecology and geology in constant flux, now reveal even subtler secrets. By using environmental DNA analysis, identifying the traces of living things present in the water, researchers have detected species whose genetic signatures are either extremely rare or have, until now, been thought extinct in the region. Some sequences even match fossil records more closely than those of modern species, hinting at long isolated populations or previously overlooked forms of life. These findings may be evidence of ancient lineages that have endured by adapting to changing climates or water chemistry. Alternatively, they could signal the presence of relict ecosystems, places where evolutionary time slows and the past mingles with the present. This surprising biodiversity suggests Alabama's waterways may serve as natural reservoirs for genetic diversity, making them invaluable to future scientific and conservation work. The edge of perception, Alabama's mysteries unveiled. What unites these discoveries, trackways and coal, teeth of extinct sharks, tiny seismic rumbles, and rare plants, is not just the question they answer, but the new questions they raise. Alabama, it seems, occupies a unique intersection, a land where ancient geology, hidden biology, and human curiosity come together to defy easy explanation. Why here? Why now? Is Alabama an outlier among American states, or do its discoveries suggest a model for overlooked wonders everywhere? The state has become a living laboratory, a reminder that beneath every field, river, or hillside, stories older than memory remain to be uncovered. In Walker County and beyond, the work continues. Researchers dig, measure, and listen for the next tremor or the next breakthrough. Rivers yield their bone, caves reveal their shadows, and hills keep their ancient fires. The story of Alabama's past is far from over. Each new discovery merely opens the next chapter. If these findings have amazed you as much as they have us, be sure to follow us for more stories exposing the world's deepest secrets, and let us know which revelation captivated you most. What do you believe waits beneath Alabama's fields, forests, and waters, hidden until the next turn of the spade or twist of scientific insight? Thank you for journeying with us today. Until next time, keep digging, keep questioning, and remember, the world's greatest wonders may still lie just beneath your feet.